Well, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the... There's no one over there. Who are you barking at? Go sit down. We've got a ferocious dog on hand. Go sit down. Sit down, Apollo, somewhere. Welcome back to the post and beam garage build. I'm going to be fabricating more parts for the front wall in this video. Hopefully we'll get all the parts cut, but we've been getting rainstorm after rainstorm. I think we got the last day and a half we got 4 inches of rain. Today the sun decided to come out, so I've got like a few hours. I'm going to see what I can get done. I'll show you what I've gotten done up to this point. So in the last video you saw me put up what I had prefabbed already, and now the wind decided to pick up. But these timbers here, and I didn't film this because there was a lot of head scratching to get all of the mortises cut in the right spot. And believe me, I checked and checked and rechecked and second guessed myself, and I hope it's all going to work out. So these two posts here are the middle two front posts. Oh, hold on, we got company. All right, I don't know where I was at because we had my mom stopped by. I had to stop filming. Anyway, these two, oh yeah, those two timbers there are posts. They're 8x10s, and they're going in the front. And these other 8x10s, they didn't need to be 8x10s. They could have been 8x8s. They're for the two front corner posts. But you know me, I'm like, well, you know, I had them on the sawmill. They became 8x10s, and that's what we got. The tractor's gonna hopefully put most of this up. There is going to be a really interesting video coming up of putting up the front wall using a gin pole and the tractor. I've kind of got it figured out in my head, and yeah, it should be interesting, but we're a ways from there, so I got to get set up here before the day's over and cut some timbers. And the wood is really wet, like it's been being soaked. Doesn't cut so nice. All right, there are the two posts cut to length, to the length of the top and the bottom tenon. Now I can lay out the tenons on both ends and cut those. Well, the wood's completely saturated. It's sitting in a puddle down here. And it doesn't like to cut. But it's getting there. It doesn't have a choice. Well, these tenons are offset for a reason, and you'll see it when we go to install them. That's not a mistake. That's done on purpose. Well, I just spent an hour or more labeling everything, marking out all of the mortises for the braces and the beams, and I'm hoping that I got it all right. There's just a lot going on. That's one reason why I didn't film those posts, is because I just didn't need to be distracted by filming. I needed to get those correct. So anyway, these should be ready to go. So I'm going to start, take a quick break, and then I'm going to start cutting these mortises. All right, that's it for that one. All right, that is the mortise for the cross member, which will form the top of the door opening. The garage door opening will be here. And what I did was, I didn't have to put a shoulder on it. There's not hardly any weight on there, but I thought it looked nice and didn't take that much longer to do. From the garage slab to this point is 12, they can see that, is 12 feet. But we're only going to put 9-foot doors into the opening. But I wanted to make it, I had the opportunity to raise this beam up to 12 feet. If somebody in the future, or maybe we want to actually put larger doors in here, somebody wants to put a lift in here, they can actually, there will be no reason why they can't take the garage doors out and raise it up to this level. So that's why I did it, because if you put this beam down at 10 feet, then you're kind of stuck there unless you cut it out. So that's why that's why it's 12 feet to this point. All right, that takes care of one side of these two beams, and it didn't film much because I was just going at it. I have to finish up, I've got to do a through mortise here, and let's see, the through mortise there, and then the mortises for the braces that go into this beam. This beam here is actually the continuation of that plate, which is under there. So I've got to do that, and then I'm going to try and get to these, and then these posts will actually be done. Yeah, lot going on with these guys. All right, it's the end of the day. I can't believe it, I managed to get these two outside posts all done. So we have all 4 posts with all of the mortises and notches. They're all set for the front. So the next step is I'm going to get these things out of here, and then start working on either the plates or maybe these oak beams over here. Don't know, but all the vertical stuff is done. Now it's just the horizontal stuff. Good morning. I am going to film a little bit here of the last 2 beams to fabricate for the garage, and I have parts over there, I've got parts over there, and the last 2 parts are these 2 oak beams, which are going to be the collar ties, which I've talked about. And so I went and got the power plane, and I'm going to actually plane these up to make them look pretty. And you can see the big difference. I already did one side. Gonna do the other 3 sides, and then we're gonna do some layout and cut these 2, and actually get them installed today. That's the plan. All right, there it is. It's all planed up. I'm not going to worry about these little imperfections here, but I think it looks pretty good. Now I can, I'm actually think I'm going to go get the router and chamfer these corners while it's here on the sawhorses and at a nice working level. And then we're just going to start, I think, at that end and square that end up, make it as long as we can, because this one has a split in it, and I'm going to cut off as much of that as I can. And then we've got to do a half dovetail up there to fit into that end, and a tenon on one end to go into the front post. And then there's some mortises for wind braces.
Didn't want to come off.
Ah, oak is just so dense and hard. All right, that's that end. That tenon goes all the way through is because there's one on a brace on this side and one on the other side. One on the other side. This is all set. I got the notch cut in there. I've got one more mortise to do down there, and then this timber is done. And that is the very last timber, and it's an exact copy of this one. And then I'm gonna get some staging and maybe even get these up in place today. All right, we got one of the collar ties or whatever you want to beams in place. It's not completely in place. I got to flip it up and put this brace in place. I didn't film it because it was all my attention on doing this without anyone getting hurt, and the last thing I need to do is be bothered with filming. So we are going to film the second one, and hopefully it goes just as well as the first one did. See if I can push that end over. All right.
Whew. Good job.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Good job, Brian.
All right, they're up there. I'm gonna spend some time. I gotta flip them up on their edges and then try to get the braces in. That's the goal for the rest of the day. All right, as you can see, I've got my small gin pole set up because I need to lift this beam up, and the gin pole is going to keep it from going out any further. I need to lift it up to install the wind brace and then lower it back down and into its notch. And the only safe way that I could think about it, the tractor, is just too precarious. So this is a much more controlled situation. So Krista and I are gonna get this set up. It's right down here on the ground right now. The winch, the block and tackle. Okay. Yep, can you pull up? Pull up. Pull up. Pull. A little more. Stop. You gotta go down some. Alright, so can you pull up?
Hold on. Give me a chance.
Stop, stop. Up a little, just a whisker. Okay, now down. You need to pull it this way. These braces seem awfully tight. You know what?
I don't know what.
I know what's going on. Well, I'll show you where I went wrong. So this beam sits down 2 inches, and then I measured for the braces from here down 36 inches. But this one only sits down 1 inch on purpose. But I measured this down to here to 37 inches, which is wrong. From there out to there is 36 inches. So I think on this one, which is also wrong because I did it at the same time as the end ones, I might try to take out another inch up top here and then put a 1 inch filler block in here, and that one will be perfect. This one though, I think I'm going to end up having to put some filler blocks in here and up there to make it tight. and I think I'm gonna just live with it. It's gonna be the one big mistake in the building. But I can't peg any of this stuff until the front wall is up, because that has to be lifted up and slid into the through mortise in the front post. So this is gonna just have to just sit here till the front wall goes up. I just have to tap the brace up in place and put a filler under this bottom like I talked about. But that's basically, that one went in really nice, thanks to the gin pole and the woman with the hard hat. Anyway, you can see what we've got. They're basically collar ties connecting the back wall, and when I build the front wall, we're going to tip it up. I'm going to tip up 2 posts and the top plate and everything all finished off. Tip it up, and hopefully it's going to slide into, it's going to take some finagling, but those tenons will slide into the mortises in the front posts along with braces, and it's going to be a whole scene. But there we go, that's the end of today. I got done what I was hoping to. Those big heavy oak beams are up in place, and I don't have to mess with them anymore. Next thing is build the front wall. Thanks for watching.